Hello, I wanted to show you how my tomato plants are doing. This heat seems to be killing most of my plants. They don't look very healthy as they should, but they still have fruit on them, so not too concerned. They still have plenty of fruit on them. I'm just waiting for the fruit to ripen. I'm hoping that the heat doesn't kill them extremely fast, so that way I can get to have tomatoes that are ripened. These are celebrity tomatoes, and they got real big real fast. There's a big nice cluster down here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but those are the celebrity tomatoes. And next to it, these are Manzano tomatoes, also pretty good, nice healthy cluster back there. This is how I have my plants. They're all bunched up. As you can see, the weather is not allowing them to fully keep their color. A lot of the leaves at the bottom have turned yellow. Still okay. They're still doing pretty good compared to how they could be because of the heat. We've had very high temperatures lately. At first I was wishing we had heat, the sun here, but now I'm thinking poor plants. So these celebrity tomatoes I have found are very big and very, 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 very beautiful to look at. These are the Manzano tomatoes. This one here, this one looks deformed a little bit. Doesn't matter. These are my Serrano plants, and I think they haven't grown as much because of the heat. This one is small but still has little peppers on it, so I think it's still doing pretty good. More tomatoes over here. These haven't really put out fruit, and I'm thinking it also has to do with the heat, although I see some trying to grow there, and one over here. I forgot what these are. I really don't remember. I think I got plant happy and just planted a whole bunch of tomatoes, and then I forgot. When I transplanted, I forgot to label them or move their label. So now it's a surprise. I call them my surprise tomato plants. They're tomatoes. That's as far as I know. That's all I know. This one is one of our cucumber plants. All of the plants died. I had about 16. All of them except this one. I thought it was gonna die. I didn't have the heart to pull it out, but it has survived. It hasn't given me any fruit, but it does have a lot of little flowers on it. So I'm hoping that eventually it will start to give me some cucumbers. More tomatoes. My naughty patches. A small harvest I did before I decided to bring you guys along. This little jalapeno is a little bit deformed with the little tail, but it doesn't matter. These are radishes. This would be probably my 4th harvest, and the more I plant, the smaller they seem to get. Why, I don't know, but I still enjoy them. My mom decided she wanted to plant corn, and the corn has grown beyond belief. And then I want to show you something I never knew corn did, but it seems to have a root system on top of a root system. It looks like it has a whole bunch of little fingers at the bottom, but my mom says that's normal. She was raised in the pueblo, you know, in a little small town in Mexico called Tomatal. So she says it's normal. my brother and I decided to plant sunflowers. Those have grown beyond belief as well. Don't know what I'm gonna do with these tall plants. My Roma tomatoes, which is the ones that I originally started my little garden with, are not doing very well. They're not growing, but that's because I didn't educate myself and I started pruning them. Come to find out, you're not supposed to prune them because they are a determinant, which I have come to find out that they will grow, produce fruit, and then ripen its fruit all at once, and then they will die. Well, that's what I have read, and I'm thinking they're right because they are not doing very good. After I read this, of course, I did stop pruning. This is some husky tomato. These plants aren't doing very hot either. They look way better than what they did, believe it or not. I have some other surprise tomato plants in the back. And then I have more surprise tomato plants here. The heat totally killed my cucumber plants. Completely gone. It killed my husky tomato plant too. Well, it's dying. It's trying to hold on, but it seems like it's dying. My rosemary is doing really, really good. A sign my friend had made for me. Very, very much in love with this sign. Anybody that knows me will know why. So the heat has also killed this cucumber plant. From this one I was able to get about, I would say about 5 cucumbers. And then I don't know if you can see that one. I'll try to show you. I'm not sure what kind they are. They have some thorns on them. I never knew cucumbers had thorns until these started popping up. But yes, some cucumbers have thorns, but the heat has killed this plant. I don't have the heart to pull it out, so I'm gonna let it be for now. This is the zucchini plant. I have gotten about 20 to 25 zucchinis out of this plant. Gorgeous. These are my lilies. My rose bush. I love my rose bush. It is gorgeous. At the bottom is a clipping. I actually cut a clipping off this big rose bush and it's stuck. I had done about 6 more and they all died, but that one stuck. So now it's growing and producing like its mama. This one is basil. I've heard it's called African basil. These are surprise flowers. I ordered some seeds online. I forgot to keep the little bag they came in, so I don't know their name. Now I don't know their name. But they're very pretty. This is what I like to refer to as our little marijuana looking ipazote. Still big, still healthy. I ripped out all the plants next to it because they weren't doing very well. My mom decided to put some corn here too. Bless her little heart. She loves corn. Tomato plant. This is a yellow pear tomato plant. The only reason I know it's a yellow pear tomato plant is because it has yellow pear tomato on it. Very delicious, might I add. My naughty Patches, always following me, loves me to death. And my naughty Kibbles. Kibbles, Kibbles, good baby. This is our it's called the Cherry Sweet 100. Out of this little plant, we have gotten a lot of little cherry tomatoes. Some of them are not Some of them are pretty good, decent size. So this one does get a lot. This would be my recommendation for anybody that is just starting to plant, because this one has given me the most joy out of all my little plants, because I get to see the fruit, and I get to see a lot of it. Not all at once, it doesn't ripen all at once, but I do get to see a lot of it. If you can tell, the heat is starting to kill this tomato plant as well. I am sad and crying in my heart because I love this little plant. Has given me so many tomatoes, so many. But nature is nature, and you can't avoid it, but you can just deal with it, and that's what I'm doing. I'm watering it as much as I can. Per Pomona, we're only supposed to water 2 times a week. That really doesn't help my tomato plants, but abiding by the law. If the law says 2 times a week, then just 2 times a week we shall do it. This is our basil. This is our Mexican Pride and Joy Wahe tree. It is absolutely loaded with wahes. Loaded with wahes. It is very small, but it is very loaded. And basically what they are seeds. They will make your breath stink like you haven't brushed your teeth in probably 3 years, but they are delicious. Here I have our beets. I don't like beets, but I did plant them because my husband loves beets. So does my mother and my aunt. So here's hoping for a good harvest. I don't see anything going on with them, but they're still green and pretty. Here's my tomatillo tree. Not tree, sorry. Probably half asleep still. It's the heat, I promise, it's the heat. This is my tomatillo plant. As you can see, the heat is taking a toll on it. It still has fruit, however it's not producing as much as it should, and they're not ripening. The little husk is basically empty. You can feel the little tomato in them, but they're not getting to a decent size. Oops. And this one, it's already drying, which should tell you that it's ready. However, if you can see, it's a tiny little tomatillo. I still use them. I love tomatillos. I love the tomatillo sauce. This one has still the flower. They are just delicious. And this plant was getting out of control. It is another yellow pear tomato plant, and as you can see, the heat is definitely killing this plant as well. This one resorted to growing out of the chicken wire that I put on there. So I thought I'd take out my phone and start recording, just to give you a little update. Whoever's watching, maybe if you're watching, learn something like about this wahe tree. Not sure everybody would be familiar with it. My recommendation for someone that just started gardening, definitely the Cherry Sweet 100. It does produce a lot of fruit, so you'll be a happy gardener. Every day you can come out and pick maybe 3, 4, 5, up to 8 little tomatoes at a time. Definitely this one has made me very, very extremely happy. All right, take care.